Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. As many of you know, the E-2, and that's what this video is going to be on, is for people who want to come to the United States to do business. And many times, the people who want to do this don't qualify because they simply don't have enough, they don't have the treaty between the U.S. and their particular country. You know, a lot of times when I tell people about the E2 who do qualify, first thing they say is, I don't have $1 million. And I tell them, I'm not talking about the EB5 for the green card. I'm talking about the E2 for the non-immigrant work visa to start your own business. Now, that can lead to the EB5, but generally it takes about 100,000 US, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, to come and start your own business. Well, there's like 40 countries around the world that have treaties with the US, and that's the first requirement. If there's no treaty, there's no E2, period. And so, which countries do I get clients from a lot that want to do E2s, but they can't because they don't qualify? Well, China, India, Russia, and I believe that's probably half the world's population right there. So the question becomes, if you don't have $1 million to do the EB5, and even if you do, if you don't want to wait for all of it to go through, and right now from China, the EB5 is backlogged for years. It didn't used to be. It used to be boom, 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 and you'd get it, and there you go. But now it's backlogged for years, and then there's the adjudication of it. So essentially, to get an EB5, for example, from India, and to wait to come into the US, especially where a lot of people want to get their kids as derivatives and to get their kids educated here in the US, that's just not a realistic option anymore. So what can they do? Well, there's a sort of roundabout option that isn't terribly expensive and that allows you from these countries essentially to do the E2. So how can this be done? Well, if you look at the different countries in the world, there's one country where basically you can buy your way to get citizenship. I mean, basically that's what it is. You buy your citizenship. You do it through various investments, and you have to work through one of the agents in their country, or one of the agents designated, which are all over the world. And of course, you have to pay their fees. But the bottom line is to get citizenship in Grenada. If any of you have looked at where Grenada is, it's a nice, pretty tropical place. It costs $150,000. Okay. Now, in addition to that, of course, you have the normal fees that you pay, for the agents to help you put it all together and get it done. But there's citizenship for you, your spouse, and your derivatives, as far as I understand. Now, why is this important? Well, this is important because let's just say, again, let me just take China, for example. And let's say from China, you want to do the EB5. You have the money to do the EB5, but you don't want to wait for several years. Your kids are going to age out. They're not going to be able to go to school. So what do? Well, you buy citizenship in Grenada, 150,000. And then once you have citizenship in Grenada, you then qualify for an E2 as a citizen of Grenada to the U.S. Okay? And that's how you come in on the E2 from China or from India or from Russia. And it takes a little longer. It's not a direct E2. You do have to get citizenship in Grenada, but the cost of it isn't prohibitive. The time is reasonable. And then after you qualify and you come in, this would be the best way. And again, like from India, they're waiting years and years for EB2 or EB3 employment-based visas. And so if they could come here on an E2 and at least wait in the U.S. while the pending, EB2 or EB3 is going, that would be preferable. So this is a fantastic alternative to being able to come into the U.S. on an E-2, even though you technically at this point are not in an E-2 country. It's the quickest way that you can go other than being born in a country that has an E-2 treaty with the U.S. So if you like the video, click like, subscribe, and more on the coming videos. Thank you.